Tyler Lepley, it is so great to finally talk to you. I've been a fan for a hot minute, and you're in this Lifetime movie. I'm so excited.
Man, appreciate you for having me for a couple minutes. Yeah, we had we had a blast shooting this thing, man. My hats off to Manu, the director. My co-star Eva. She really brought her A game, and I just felt like we had a blast telling the story, but it was also like an important story to tell because of some of the themes in it. You know what I mean?
So, you're on medication?
Well, it was. Yeah, it was. What about you, though? How about you? Huh? But you, you turned me into the cops when I was at my lowest point in this life. My own damn wife.
No, Victor, listen, I literally just answered their questions.
The only thing I was trying to do is make life better for you and Malcolm. That's the only thing I was trying to do. You took my son away from me.
Tyler, this movie's called Buried Alive and Survived. Can you please break down this insane premise? I watched the movie last night. I'm still shooketh, okay? Give me the premise.
Yeah. So without giving too much away, it's a story that follows Alicia, played by Eva, and she's trying to do the right thing after she had split up from her husband, who was doing a lot of time upstate. He was doing a lot of time in jail. He ends up coming home early to try to bring his family together. She has a difference of opinion, and they end up meeting for a hell of a dance. I don't want to give too much away, but they have different tactics of getting what they want.
Yeah. And to me, when I watch this movie, your character, Victor to me is like a total psychopath. In my mind, that's like how I look at him. But I was curious for you, how would you describe Victor?
Well, even in medical terms, this is someone who's manic, someone who is probably is a psychopath. He's on medication and then he's off, and for a good portion of the movie, he's off his medication. You know what I'm saying? He was taking medication when he was on the inside. Obviously, when he got out, he wanted to do it his way, so he went all the way left. So I feel like he is a psychopath, but I don't judge the aspect of him that's very human, which is the fact that after a long time he's coming home to try to put his family together. He loves his son, and he'll do anything in his power to get his wife back. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we could all understand and empathize with. It just so happens that on the flip side of it, like, he is a psychopath.
Like completely crazy, really crazy. But you played him so well, and I kept thinking to myself, the fans that really love you the most, like most recently, are endeared to you because of P-Valley. And the character on P-Valley that you play is very heroic. Like, he's someone who comes and saves the day a lot. Was it a risk at all for you to play someone who is on the outside looking in pretty toxic?
Not really. For me as the artist, I don't judge it.
Okay.
As long as it's something that I can latch on to. Like, the first thing I latch on to, like I said, is him fighting for his family. I can understand that. You know what I mean? I would say that, making the choice to do a character like this, everybody has things, every actor has something that they'll say no to.
Okay.
Right? This may be too much in this direction. This may be too much in that direction. Every artist is different. For me, this story wasn't too much because of like the foundation that I just mentioned. I know where he's coming from. He just ended up making some wrong choices. You know what I mean? And in terms of what the audience thinks, I feel like, being able to hit the real contracts or the juxtaposition, as long as you showcase both sides of what makes a character human, just like you or me, we're both the light and the dark. You know what I'm saying? If we have our coffee, everything's fine. If I slap your mom, things are gonna go left. You see what I'm saying? So we all have that in us. So it's like, I feel like being able to showcase both sides is what's not gonna, make for anybody judging it. Of course, he ends up doing what he's doing, but I feel like there's pieces here and there when you watch where you can understand what he's going through.
Yeah, I have to give you props too, because to me, I saw a whole new side of you. You played crazy really well. I thought about like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear, Kathy Bates in Misery. There were like a couple like one I had to rewind because you did them so well. I'm so curious, where did you pull from to tap into this kind of crazy?
I definitely did some research in terms of, what does a manic episode look like? You know what I'm saying? What does it look like for someone to be on medication in that mental space versus off medication? And then, the only, on the other side of things, like, I don't tap into I don't draw from a real space in terms of going crazy. I kind of just, do my homework and just go there. But I did draw from some experiences in terms of the other side, the family man of Victor. I know what it's like to, to miss my family, deeply and do anything to protect, my version of what I think protection looks like. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be an involved father, you know what I'm saying? And a passionate, a passionate partner, a passionate husband. Again, we go about it different ways. You know what I'm saying? Me as Tyler, I'll make the choices different. I may have a direct conversation with you about what I'm feeling. Victor might jack you up and pull a gun to you. See what I'm saying? So it's like different intentions in terms of how we're going to get around it, but it stems from the same objective. We want our family whole.
Okay. I love a line that you gave in one of your previous interviews that I thought was kind of deep, around just like acting and your early journey playing football. That some of our biggest losses can be our biggest lessons. So I'm curious for you on your journey as an actor so far, aside from missing out on going pro playing football, what is that loss that's been your biggest lesson?
I feel like I'm in tune enough with my blessings to know that like I don't need to lose any of them to really learn the hardest lesson. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like, I guess in terms of like, looking back on it right now, what was my biggest lesson in terms of the losses? Probably the whole football situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost out on that dream. I feel like God had a different plan. God had a bigger plan for me. But, in terms of like, what it is that I wanted to do, I wanted to go pro. And I wanted to be able to feed my family and basically do everything I'm doing now. I really wanted to do it through football. So at the time, in between when I didn't get that with football and before I discovered this, and I was in that space where I just lost, it was a crazy loss for me. I would say my biggest lesson would have been, it was really what helps me nowadays, is just because you have a natural gift doesn't mean that you shouldn't have the work ethic to support it.
Okay.
I was naturally gifted at football, so I was never in the film room. I was never doing treatment. When I needed to rehab my ankle, I wasn't doing it. I didn't care what I'm gonna go smoke over here. See what I'm saying? And it's like I just took it for granted. I didn't apply myself as much as I could have. I didn't give my best effort because it was naturally given to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like that allows me nowadays to like when I have these things that are beautiful for me. I got this career that's flourishing, and I got this relationship that's I'm just in love with. It's flourishing. I have my children and my parents, and I have all these blessings around me. And I got a group of friends that really holds me down. And it's like, I see all these blessings. Even though the blessings come to me from God, I still show up and give my best effort as Tyler. You know what I'm saying? I really water everything and I cultivate it, and I really show up there. And I feel like I learned that from the loss I had in football.
Okay. I want to shift to P-Valley for a hot minute. Have you been filming P-Valley? Are you guys wrapped up for season 3?
Yeah, we're filming right now. We're on episode like 7. We're almost done. We're on the last quarter. Okay.
What do you feel like you're the most excited about for people to see in the evolution of Diamond this season?
What he's like on the other side of being the healer, or the caretaker, or the enforcer. He's always someone that comes to aid. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the damsel in distress with Keyshawn, he's there to help her. Whether it's protecting the Pink or any of the girls over there, you know what I'm saying? He's always been here to help. And it's like one thing I'm excited for y'all to see is like what happens on the other side of it. Again, we always go back to juxtaposition. If everything over here that you're used to seeing is black, it's like, what does white look like? So for Diamond, I'm really excited for y'all to see this season, what it looks like when he needs help, or he's struggling, or he needs to be healed, or he needs protection. It's like you're about to see the other side of what makes Diamond a human.
Okay. And you mentioned it earlier, you're in a happy relationship. And to me, I love the idea of you and Miracle Watts really being one of the only couples on a hit series right now that are starring on a show together, but that also are in a loving relationship. So I'm so curious, like if you could give anyone advice who wants to follow on this journey or at some point finds themselves literally working with their partner, what is like one or two of the keys to being successful as you are?
I would say that, if you really want a relationship, it's got to be a relationship first. When you mention it like that, there's nothing about Miracle and myself that is like, show first. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, it's a relationship. That's the mother of my children. She'll be my wife soon. This is my family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're really disconnected. But I mean, if you ever find yourself in a space where you're working with your significant other, I mean, it's a unique place. It's cool. It's you know, I'm able to grow with her in a different space in terms of like, you know, what my passions are and her passions are, and like it's you know, it's a pretty cool thing.
Okay, okay. It's so funny. I was out 2 nights ago with one of my girlfriends who's very happily married. And she was saying that, you know, I was telling her I was going to interview you, and she was like, my husband knows Tyler is my what's the word? Hall pass. He's my hall pass. If I ever see him, he's my hall pass. I'm just so curious for you because a lot of women that I spoke to, I feel like you have this sort of risk it all looks for them. You know, was there a sort of role for you that triggered that, where you begin to realize that you're being viewed in this light, you're being viewed in this sort of symbol as leading man?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I first came out on Have and Have Nots, I realized that, you know, people in an unconscious way, just as humans, we just got this thing where we try to put people in boxes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I realized that when I first came out, that people are going to try to put you in this box, whether it's sex symbol, whether it's the black actor, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, the wholesome boy Benny. It's like, you know, they just try to put you in this box until you show them that, you know, you really like that. It's like anything else, you know. So I'm very conscious. You know, it's a conscious decision. It's not just luck of the draw. Oh, well, I ended up booking it. I need some money. We'll go shoot it. No. It's very, I'm very conscious of going from Benny, doing a 180 and going over to Diamond.
Okay.
Coming up here to Rom-Com and getting softer up here with Harlem, and then going all the way left with Victor. And I got a six pack, 2 shows and 4 movies that's about to drop after this. That it's like, it's the same thing. We're going all over the place. So it's like, you know, I feel like people fall for the world's greatest lie all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, the world's greatest lie is that, you know, at some point, this all gets turned over to what they call fate. You're not in control anymore. That's not true. We're always in control. It's the world's biggest lie.
Okay.
So it's like, for me, you know, I'm in control of what y'all are able to put me in. You can't put me in a box because I'm here, I'm there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can never put Denzel in the box. And, you know, of course, I'm not on Denzel's level yet.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, this is like my hero. You know what I'm saying, in terms of what I do. So it's like, I look at him like that. And it's like, you can never put that man in the box because of the choices he makes with the roles that he chooses.
I'm curious though, is there pressure, Tyler, being viewed as a sex symbol and kind of living up to that expectation? I can walk down the street, I don't gotta have no 6-pack, I can look regular. You know, is there pressure for you knowing that you're in that box and that box has brought you a lot of opportunities and roles?
Yeah, pressure, no. Am I conscious of it? Yes. You know, I'm conscious, again, it goes back, like I'm conscious of the way the audience views people, me, and they'll just naturally, I don't know, it's just naturally, like if I see orange, like all of a sudden it's orange, you know what I'm saying? Like if I see all of a sudden it's orange, you forget that it's a mixture of red and yellow. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird analogy, but it's like, it's the same thing. It's like, you know, you forget that orange is a secondary color. So it's like, this is, you know, am I conscious of it? Yes, but like, I'll never fall victim to the pressure of it because I say so. See what I'm saying? You see what I show you. There ain't no pressure. It's not the other way around. See what I'm saying? And it's like, that's a trick. You can't fall for that. Like pressure is like, it's not even real. It's like fear. It's almost, you know, it's almost like created in your head. But you do have to be conscious. You have to have what I like to call, what my therapist likes to call, shout out to Gary.
Oh, I love my therapist. Shout out to my therapist too, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Yes.
What we would call a proper perspective.
Okay.
Yes, you look at me like this, but I show you that. The box is there, but if I step out of it, it's null and void. You see what I'm saying? So all these things are true to create like what you would call like a proper perspective. Almost like the macro.
Okay.
Go back.
Well, listen, I could talk to you all day, Tyler. I know you got a lot.
Yeah, I guess that.
But I want to say to you that you stepped outside of the box. This movie for me, Victor, Buried and Alive, it really is showing the range to what you can do. So I'm so proud of you. And I look forward to what you do next.
Thank you, bro. No, I appreciate that. And man, we had a blast shooting it. Like I said, shout out to everybody over at Swell Films, Manu, who directed it, Eva, who was my co-star. Lifetime. I've always wanted to be a part of Lifetime. I've got the blessing of being that with this film. It's premiering this Saturday, 7 Central on Lifetime. Make sure you check it out. And it's just it's a great story. It's you're definitely gonna be on the edge of your seats. It's one of those things you definitely get some popcorn, just go enjoy a great movie. But it's also important too. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about domestic violence, and it's like it's just one of those important pieces of art that I'm glad to go ahead and sign the bottom of.
I love it. Well, it was brilliant. I'm gonna watch again when it airs live.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. It's good to talk to you.
All right. Bye.